You may picture Europe as a haven of history, culture, and cobblestone charm. But beyond the postcard-perfect scenes, some cities are grappling with deep-rooted dangers, where crime, violence, and unrest are part of everyday reality. In this video, we're revealing the 20 most dangerous cities in Europe where you could be killed. Subscribe to Global Lens for more eye-opening stories from around the world. 1. Novi Pazar, Serbia. Novi Pazar has gained an unwelcome title as one of Europe's most dangerous cities. With a crime index of 74.78 in 2021, it has become notorious for organized crime and violent incidents. This southwestern Serbian city, despite its rich multicultural heritage, has seen a wave of illicit activities that have impacted both locals and travelers. Armed conflicts between rival criminal groups and a legacy of law enforcement struggles make it a risky destination, especially for those unfamiliar with the local dynamics. Economic instability, limited police resources, and the historical presence of smuggling routes in the Balkans have only fueled the criminal ecosystem, making this city a cautionary tale of how systemic neglect can foster lasting danger. 2. Birmingham, United Kingdom. Birmingham, the UK's second-largest city, recorded 1,682 violent crimes per 100,000 residents in a single year. The city's homicide rate reached 150 in that same period, painting a grim picture for public safety. Known for its industrial legacy and cultural diversity, Birmingham also struggles with high rates of knife crime, gang violence, and drug trafficking. Several districts in the city have been flagged as crime hotspots, particularly in areas suffering from high unemployment and social deprivation. Law enforcement efforts have increased, but tensions between police and marginalized communities complicate matters. The combination of economic disparity and generational gang rivalries means that violent crime often emerges in broad daylight, affecting even those who aren't involved in illegal activity. 3. Kyzyl, Russia. The capital of the Tuva Republic, Kyzyl is isolated geographically and socially. This small city, home to roughly 116,000 residents, once recorded a murder rate of 35 per 100,000 people, making it one of the most dangerous places in Russia. Alcohol abuse, poverty, and lack of public infrastructure contribute to the city's high crime rate. Law enforcement struggles to keep up with the incidents, and judicial corruption further diminishes public trust. Kyzyl's remoteness from Russia's major power centers means that reforms are slow to arrive. For locals, the danger is compounded by limited access to emergency services. For outsiders, it's a city best approached with extreme caution. 4. Grozny, Russia. Still bearing scars from the Chechen Wars, Grozny, the capital of Chechnya, has experienced significant reconstruction but remains unstable. Although infrastructure has improved, reports of terrorism, kidnappings, and political violence persist. The city, once labeled the most destroyed city on Earth by the UN in 2003, has a legacy of volatility that keeps it high on the danger index. Beneath its gleaming new buildings, a culture of authoritarian control and unresolved ethnic tensions make Grozny a complex and dangerous environment. While the city promotes tourism as part of its image makeover, critics warn that dissent is harshly punished and that a veneer of safety hides a deeply unstable foundation. 5. Donetsk, Ukraine. Donetsk, once a major industrial hub, has been deeply affected by war. Since 2014, armed conflict between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed separatists has made the city one of the most hazardous in Europe. As of mid-2022, more than half of Donetsk Oblast was under separatist control. Military engagements, shelling, and civilian casualties are a tragic part of daily life, turning Donetsk into a high-risk zone. Essential services such as healthcare, public transport, and water supply are frequently disrupted. The psychological toll on the population is severe, with reports of PTSD and long-term trauma rising among both adults and children. Any travel to the region is strongly discouraged by international advisories. 6. Sofia, Bulgaria. Sofia, Bulgaria's capital, has seen rising rates of organized crime and corruption. With a population nearing 1.3 million, petty theft, pickpocketing, and scams are common, particularly in tourist-heavy areas. Organized criminal networks operate with considerable influence in politics and business. These groups are often linked to racketeering, human trafficking, and illicit trade. Although the government has implemented anti-corruption reforms, progress remains slow. For visitors, the threat is less about violent crime and more about becoming a target in a broader system of exploitation. Pickpockets operate with impunity in metro stations and marketplaces, making vigilance a daily requirement. 7. Riga, Latvia. Riga offers stunning architecture and vibrant history, but safety remains a concern. The capital of Latvia has struggled with theft, drug-related crimes, and economic inequality that fuels desperation-driven offenses. The city has one of the highest crime rates in the Baltic region. Street-level crime, including purse snatching and ATM fraud, is especially prevalent in the Old Town and other tourist zones. While violent crimes are less frequent, organized gangs often operate under the radar, contributing to an overall sense of insecurity. Riga's police force is generally effective, but stretched thin, and language barriers can complicate reporting incidents. 8. Bucharest, Romania. Romania's capital has earned the nickname Little Paris, but beneath the charm lies a concerning crime rate. In 2022 alone, nearly 19,000 thefts were reported in Bucharest, marking a significant rise. While murder rates are relatively low, the frequency of pickpocketing, street scams, and assaults is notable. Public transport and crowded areas are prime locations for such activity. Fake taxis, overcharging schemes, and con artists targeting foreigners are routine problems. Despite recent efforts to bolster tourism, the gap between perception and reality in terms of safety remains significant. The issue is less about isolated incidents and more about a consistent pattern of opportunistic crime. 9. Porto, Portugal. Porto, Portugal's second-largest city, combines beauty with underlying risks. Known for its wine and architecture, Porto has also seen a spike in tourist-targeted crime, particularly scams and pickpocketing. While violent crime remains relatively rare, the city's nightlife scene has led to increases in alcohol-related incidents, including brawls and theft. Visitors who let their guard down after a few drinks can become easy prey. Moreover, locals report that policing in entertainment districts is often reactive rather than preventive, allowing issues to escalate before intervention occurs. 10. Malmo, Sweden. Malmo has been plagued by gang violence, shootings, and even grenade attacks in recent years. Despite Sweden's overall reputation for safety, Malmo has become an outlier. With a population of around 336,000, the city's crime wave has been linked to rival gang disputes and organized crime. Neighborhoods such as Rosengård have been highlighted in Swedish media for their high crime rates and low police presence. Social integration challenges, high youth unemployment, and drug trafficking contribute to the instability. Government intervention has intensified, but for many residents, daily life remains shadowed by the risk of violent outbreaks. 11. Dnipro, Ukraine. Dnipro is one of Ukraine's major industrial and technological centers, but its strategic location has made it vulnerable during periods of regional instability. While not under direct occupation like Donetsk, the city has been heavily influenced by Ukraine's conflict zones. Organized crime has flourished amid the confusion of war, and corruption in local law enforcement continues to erode public trust. Economic hardship has contributed to rising property crime, and the black market economy plays a prominent role. Dnipro remains a vital part of Ukraine's infrastructure, but that also makes it a target, and a risky place for both locals and outsiders. 12. Marseille, France. Marseille has long been known for its Mediterranean charm and vibrant cultural scene, but it also carries a reputation for violence and drug-related crime. With a crime index over 65, the city is often cited as one of France's most dangerous. Several northern districts, such as the Quartiers Nord, are virtually controlled by drug gangs, where shootings and turf wars are a regular occurrence. Police presence is limited in these areas due to ongoing threats against law enforcement. Despite efforts to revitalize the city's image through tourism and redevelopment, Marseille's deep-rooted crime networks continue to present serious safety challenges. 13. Naples, Italy. Naples is a city of passion, history, and unfortunately, organized crime. The presence of the Camorra, one of Italy's most powerful and violent mafia organizations, continues to affect daily life. Extortion, racketeering, and turf violence are common, especially in impoverished neighborhoods. Tourists are frequently targeted for theft, particularly near major transportation hubs and markets. While the city center and coastal areas have improved their safety standards, the threat remains real in the suburbs. Naples is a stark reminder that beautiful cities can hide dangerous undercurrents. 14. Catania, Italy. Catania, located in Sicily, sits under the shadow of Mount Etna and of its own dark reputation. The city has struggled for decades with the influence of the Sicilian mafia. While outright violence has decreased, the legacy of organized crime persists through political corruption, intimidation, and a pervasive culture of silence. Pickpocketing, petty theft, and scams are still common in tourist-heavy areas. Local businesses often operate under pressure from criminal groups, and the mistrust between residents and law enforcement further hampers safety reforms. For all its historic beauty, Catania demands vigilance. 15. Paris, France. Paris, known globally as the city of love and lights, also faces serious crime problems that tourists often underestimate. Reports of violent assaults, sexual harassment, and organized pickpocket rings have been increasing. Areas around major train stations like Gare du Nord and Gare de l'Est are particularly problematic. Sophisticated criminal networks target tourists, while social unrest and protests can erupt with little warning. The contrast between Paris's romantic image and its public safety record is striking, and it demands awareness from visitors and residents alike. 16. Odessa, Ukraine. Odessa is a critical port city on the Black Sea, vital to Ukraine's economy and trade. However, it also has a history of corruption, smuggling, and criminal enterprise. The local mafia has historically maintained a strong presence, influencing both politics and law enforcement. During times of national instability, these groups have gained even more ground. While daytime in central Odessa can feel relaxed and scenic, the situation changes at night, especially in poorly lit areas. Scams targeting foreigners are common, and the city's proximity to conflict zones adds another layer of risk. 17. London, United Kingdom. London is one of the world's most iconic capitals, but it faces serious challenges related to urban violence. Knife crime in particular has reached alarming levels, with thousands of incidents reported annually. Youth gangs, drug trafficking, and rising homelessness have added to the city's crime complexity. Some boroughs like Tower Hamlets, Hackney, and Lambeth regularly report above-average crime rates. Despite a visible police presence, London's sprawling size and diversity make it difficult to maintain uniform security. Tourists should remain cautious in nightlife districts and crowded public transport zones. 18. Athens, Greece. Athens, steeped in historical significance, is also marked by modern tension. Following years of financial crisis, the city continues to struggle with unemployment, protests, and social unrest. Anarchist groups occasionally clash with police, especially around the Exarchia district. Theft and scams are common in central areas like Monastiraki and Omonia. Visitors report incidents involving fake police, street distraction thefts, and aggressive street vendors. While Athens boasts cultural treasures, it is essential to navigate its neighborhoods with situational awareness. 19. Brussels, Belgium. Brussels is the de facto capital of the European Union, yet it also ranks high in terms of crime among European cities. Tourists and residents report frequent pickpocketing, harassment, and organized scams in metro stations and city squares. The districts of Molenbeek and Anderlecht are known for elevated crime rates and reduced police patrols. Socioeconomic disparity and integration challenges contribute to persistent security issues. Brussels serves as a reminder that even political powerhouses are not immune to urban crime. 20. Dublin, Ireland. Dublin rounds out the list with a rising trend in theft, drug offenses, and gang-related crime. Once considered a relatively safe capital, Dublin has seen its crime index increase over the past decade. Knife attacks and antisocial behavior are becoming more common, particularly in neighborhoods like Ballymun and Talat. The city's nightlife scene, while vibrant, also presents risks such as assaults and spiked drinks. Local authorities have acknowledged the need for reform, but strained resources and inconsistent policing create a sense of unpredictability that visitors should not ignore. From ancient capitals to modern metropolises, danger in Europe comes in many forms, from organized crime and gang violence to political instability and street-level theft. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and subscribe to Global Lens. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.